Hey guys, what's going on? This is Canadian Constellar's One giving you my very first video on my channel, and it is a Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce my build of a very popular deck that has been around recently. It hasn't topped in Nationals or Worlds or anything like that at all, but it is a very fun deck to do, and I know regionals and stuff like that it's been very popular, but yeah, I'd like to bring you my Constellar deck. So, my build is a little bit different from everyone else's, but other than that, it's just very straightforward with the build and everything. So, yeah, here it goes. First off, I main 3 Constellar costs. Mainly cost because it's really good. You use its star effect to increase its own levels to 5 or anything like that, and attack your other Constellars. So, you use that and get out your bigger stuff. 3 Pollux. 3 Pollux is pretty standard. Can't be Veilered, get out your extra normal summon, and whatnot. It's very good in this format, especially where you want to swarm. Can't be Veilered or anything, so you still get your additional normal summon. Main 3 Constellar Sombre. I think it's completely busted in the Constellar deck. Makes it really good, really powerful and quick. And it can get the Pollux can actually get around it, so that's why I like it anyway. It's really good anyways. Plus the art is just so cute. Look at the art! It's just so awesome. Yeah, anyways, moving on. I main deck 3 Constellar Ageti, get you that additional special summon so you can get out your bigger beaters fairly quickly. Again, very straightforward and whatnot. I run 3 Sheraton, basically like everyone else says, the straightest of the deck, like E-Heroes. Get your Surge, get a Constellar to hand, that you get your Pollux and your costs and everything like that quicker. This next card is not very popular with a lot of people, but I really like it. I main deck 2 Constellar Rasselhag, mainly because when you tribute it on the field, special summon any Constellar from your graveyard. That includes main deck and extra deck, so makes it really good to get out your bigger beaters and you go into M7 or anything like that. So yeah, that's why I like this card, and that's why I main deck 2 of them. Now for the other tech, that's just the Constellar monsters. But it's fairly straightforward, pretty decent deck. I also run 2 Fire Fist Bear. Bear because, well, get your tankies to your field, then you can do damage, send your tankies graveyard, destroy it, and everything like that. So it's fairly straightforward. And honestly, really, there's not much more said. It's light deck. So yeah, that does it for the monsters. And now moving on to spells and traps. Starting with 2 Tanky. Tanky gets my search for bears and costs, and, well, for bears effect, of course, so it's fairly straightforward. I only run 2 because I find that if you draw into 3, you basically have kind of a dead card, and even if you run, like, 2 bear, 3 Tanky, to me, it's very situational. I usually draw into my bears quicker than I do into my Tankies, so I'd rather run 2 Tanky, just for the sake I got cards in my Magic selection that I like better. Anyways, continue on. I run 3 MST. MST because you can set MST as well as other than playing it straight from the hand. Most people straight from the hand. I do both, like everyone else would. But yeah, 1 Constellar Star Cradle, very good. Get 2 Constellars back to your hand, so get Pollux and costs going to play out a lot quicker. So it's very good. Very helps it be very consistent from the hand. And your staples: Monsterborn, Heavy Storm, Avarice, and Dark Hole. I don't run any Lance, because for me, I don't really like Lance that much. I want my monsters to have big beater cards, be very strong and very powerful, have great presence on the field, and you can just easily get around a lot of stuff. Now to the traps. I run not 2, but 3 Threatening Roars, just because Threatening Roar in this format is amazing. It stops everything in sight, including E-Dragon, spellbooks, etc., etc. 2 D-Prison, because D-Prison's a boss. The only thing it sucks against would be E-Dragons, because E-Dragons get their effects when they're banished, but they're going to be hit once ban list hits, so not a big deal. 2 Bottomless, straightforward. 2 Compulse, because I got 3 Pleiades, and 2 is just enough for me. I don't need to run like 6 Compulses in a deck, per se. And 1 Pinpoint Guard. This card is really good for Constellars, because a lot of their monsters are level 4. You can special summon it, and can't be destroyed by battle or card effects for the rest of the turn. That brings the whole main deck all together. Now on to the extra deck. Extra deck for me, it's mainly a lot of personal preference, and there's 1 card in there that's going to be seen really weird, but for me, like I said, personal preference. First off, I run 3 Omega, mainly because I like having a 3rd one just in case I use my dead ones for M7 M7 targets and whatnot. Plus, I just love its effect, and the art on it is absolutely gorgeous. One Persepe, you only really need to run one Persepe in the deck, because if you run two, you do get two beaters that get you over 1,000 in damage step. It's really hard to get around damage step effects, but I'd rather just run one because he's kind of situational. Three Pleiades. Pleiades, because it's so busted in this deck. Compulse anything back to the hand on another player's turn. You screw them up. And I run 3 M7, because M7 and Constellars, you get more targets with your Exceeds, because the more targets the better, and with Constellars, it's just incredibly busted. Just because of the overlay thing. Now on to my weird tech. This is, like I said, weird tech because it's personal preference, and some stuff is from the set that just got released today. Locally, we got it earlier, but that's a different story. I run one number 44 Sky Pegasus. His effect is really funny, especially where I can get him out really quickly in Constellars because of this whole swarm thing. Detach material, destroy face-up monster on your opponent's side of the field, or they pay 1,000 to get the effect. You want to protect your life points in this format because they get burned quickly just by attacking. So you want to be careful of that. Black Ship of Corn, fairly straightforward. Same thing as Pegasus, except that's sent to the graveyard, so it would get around stuff like Zen Mains, but you can't attack the turn. So like I said, this is just my personal preference. Tiger King, because I got Koss and Bear as targets for it, and I can set my Tanky, so I get my plays quicker with that. I run one Cardinal because, well, Bear can be the overlay units, and if I gotta get Tankies back to my graveyard, and I haven't drawn into anything like that yet, and I just got my two Bears, going to Cardinal, just that whole situation. And this is the weirdest thing ever, but this is just a test for me, but I don't think it's going to be a definite thing. I run one Dracosac. Mainly because with Koss, you can get him out, you gotta wait a couple turns, but he is a very busted card in the format regardless. I only run the one, but just because I like him a lot, as well as he's just a really, really hard card to get around. Especially in the format because E-Dragons just wrecked everything. So, yeah, that's pretty much my whole deck. My opinion on the whole preference of the deck kind of thing is just, it really depends on what kind of stuff you go for. So, when you got a deck that you really like, you just stick with it, and that's pretty much the basis of it all. But, yeah, that's my Constellar build profile. If you guys want to subscribe down below, click that like and the subscribe button. I'm still new to the whole channel thing and whole recording, so any subscriptions and likes would be appreciated. And anyways, yeah, this has been Canadian Constellars, my Constellar build profile. See you guys later.